Hey folks, so this week I'm going to talk about print on demand. Before I really get into this, I want to make it clear that I'm basing my opinions on this particular subject this week on the mere fact that the ideal situation would be for me to have my book on bookshelves in real bookstores nationwide, if not international. That being said, I can strike down print on demand in one foul swoop. No bookstores will carry a print on demand book. Now, I know you're going to go to all these print on demand sites and they're going to say, we'll put you in Borders, we'll put you in Barnes & Noble, we'll put you on Amazon. Okay, Amazon I can't actually dispute. The truth of the matter is that these places are just putting out their catalog and saying, hey, if anybody ever wants that book, we've got it. If you go to any of these bookstores, with very, very few exceptions, you will not find a print-on-demand book on those shelves. Generally, the exception is, it is the bookstore that local author frequents. Okay, now the reason that these big bookstores will not carry print-on-demand is because print-on-demand companies do not offer these bookstores money back if that book does not sell. You know, in a normal situation, a bookstore will just get a giant box of Stephen King and Sue Grafton and Tom Clancy, and if they sell 6 out of 20 books, they can ship back those other 14 books. Actually, I think they just rip the covers off and ship back the covers because it's cheaper, and then they toss the book out. And the company will pay them back for it. Print-on-demand companies don't offer this. When they say, we'll put you in Barnes & Noble and we'll put you in Borders, is that they will put out a catalog or open their database up to Borders and Barnes & Noble. If you go to the little kiosk in store, you can type in some print-on-demand book and you'll probably be able to pull it up. It won't be in-house. Now, if you're still interested, I'm going to talk about some other things. This is a really wide topic because there are so many companies doing this now that I really can't even guarantee that I'm going to cover everything this week. So what I'd really like for you to do is, if you're an author that's published print on demand, if you're an author that's considering publishing print on demand, do a video response. I would really, really appreciate hearing what you have to say instead of just trying to siphon through all the comments and the emails. So let me know what your experience has been. So here's some generalizations why I don't like print on demand companies right now. I'll get into specific companies later on in the series. Right now I just kind of want to get a broad thing out there. Okay? And we'll break it apart. I don't have the definitive answer. There's so many companies. There's, I think, 200 companies offering this right now. One of the main reasons that I don't like these companies is that they want everything. They want you to do all the work. They want you to give them money. They want total control. You can't have all that. You have companies like Lulu and Cafe Press that will do absolutely nothing for you. And they're barely squeaking in on this print-on-demand concept as far as I'm concerned. Basically, they're a printer. Okay? Everything else is you. You have to organize the files in a very specific way, depending on the company. You have to do all your own cover art, do all your own editing, do all your own graphics and margins and blah, 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 blah. Granted, I do not expect a print-on-demand company to edit, to proofread, to fact-check, to do any kind of in-house research, anything like that. I don't blame them for not doing that. Okay, so that's a couple that are completely web-based, and you have to do all your own marketing, which, you know, granted, I have to give that up. You probably are going to have to do that with any print-on-demand company. The exception being some of these companies that offer packages. These packages include a certain number of books that you get, hard copy or soft copy, depends on the package, a certain amount of publicity. I've seen companies that do things like posters and business cards and blah, 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 blah. F that, okay? If a company is offering you a package that isn't just books and marketing and publicity, they're making money from you some other way. Business cards, postcards, bookmarks, posters, they're upselling things, okay? That's not what a publisher should do. You should not be paying these companies anything. It's ridiculous to buy a package. I will not do it. I don't have $3,000 to throw away on some company that cannot promise me a return. And that's the big thing with these companies that are charging you money to do print on demand. They cannot promise you will make anything back. They're in it to make money off of you. Do not pay these companies money to do nothing for you. Okay? Alright, what else? That was an angry rant. I should be Bohem now. I need a hat. There's a company out there, and I believe this was Publish America, that offers you some things like editing. I think they actually force you into using their in-house graphic designers, which strike one for me, because if I'm giving over this stuff and you're not paying me up front, which they're not, then I need full creative control. I'm totally cool with editors, because as far as I'm concerned, an editor is going to make sure I didn't say "are" when I meant to say "ain't," and "your" when I meant to say "shut it." Whatever. So editor's totally cool, because, you know, they're not going to make a major story change, you know, without a big fight. And I'm sure a print-on-demand company editor is not going to make story changes. He's just going to look in and be like, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, capital, period, this guy's an idiot. Okay. My biggest gripe with this particular company is that they attempt to lock you in to a 7-year contract over something they cannot guarantee you will sell a single issue of. 7 years. 7 years. You know, a lot of people only have that one novel. They only need to do it once. It's not a living for them. 7 years is a long time to have nothing to show for it. You spend a lot of time putting this thing together. It's a lot of writing. It's a lot of heart and soul. And if you put it out there, and for 7 years nothing happens, that's devastating. You want some kind of, fruition. You know, you want something to happen. You want to walk into a bookstore and be like, that's mine. Who wants to make out? I wrote this. You see how shiny this cover is? You in the cafe with the laptop. What's up, dude? You want to make out? What? So again, they're not paying you up front. They should not be locking you into a 7-year contract. I have no problem. 2 years. Lock me into 3-year contract. You know, if they came to me tomorrow and said, we'll make an exception. 3-year contract. Done. I'll do it. I'll do it. As long as I can use my own art. You want to use me for 7 years and not offer me my own cover art? Granted, a lot of people aren't artists. I am. Painted that. Alright, that's not really talented art. That's a lot of dripping. That was just patience. That's 2 months of dripping pigment onto a 5x5 canvas. You want to lock me in for 7 years and not let me have full creative control? Screw you. Alright? That's all I gotta say about that. So I know this has been a little bit general. And again, there are just a ton of companies out there doing this. Be careful. I know a few people that have gone this way, and they've had very little success on it. Not that they haven't had some success, not that they haven't had some sales. But you really have to know your market. And if you're not a businessman, if you're not a marketing person, then this is not a good option. Okay? The reason authors go to these giant publishing houses is because of all the amenities they will offer you. Aside from the fact that they'll be like, there's a pretty big check, you want this now or should we laminate it first? This is why authors go to publishing houses. Giant check. Big check up front. You know, even if you're a first-time author, you're going to get 10, 20,000. That's a big check. It's not a giant check. It's not Stephen King money. But who the hell are you? Well, don't point at me. I'm Mig. Editor is going to go over it and make it better. And I know that scares a lot of people. It scares me. How can you make something I thought up better? But it's possible. Be open to editors. You don't be a whore about it. You know, have some balls. Be like, listen, I'm not going to have a happy ending. That guy dies at the end of my story. F you. Big check editors, proofreading, fact checkers, marketing. They're gonna put your book everywhere. They're gonna market it. There's gonna be posters. There's gonna be special bookmarks. There's gonna be a website. Come on, boys, we're having a sale. All right, it's a whole deal, man. It's a whole big package deal. And you don't have to pay anything. Print on demand, self-publishing. I'm not into it. Not yet. I love the concept of it. It's almost like this. It's almost like putting videos on YouTube. Almost. It's not right. It's not perfected. It's a bastard of an ideal. You can't just go, hey, 200 pages. 80,000 words. I wrote that myself. Make me the next Tom Clancy. Not gonna happen. Not that way. If you're an author that is self-published or print on demanded, and you've got a book out there, you have my permission to pimp your link. Go for it. Leave a comment and say, this is my book, it's about this. Go for it. Do it. If you have not gone this route yet, I don't think you should. That's my opinion. If there's someone out there who's got one book, just one, you've only written one book, and you've gone self-publishing or print on demand, and you were not rich before this, you had maybe $2,000 to your name, and you're living off it now, tell me. I want to know. I want to know I'm completely wrong. I want to know that I can find a website out there who's going to take my manuscript, not make any big changes, give me control over it, is going to put it out there, and I'm going to be able to go into work 3 days from now and be like, guess what? I'm a novelist. Guess who's not? You guys. Let me know the websites you're considering, and I will take a look at them and give you a more in-depth opinion on what I really think about that particular site and what it offers. Also, this is probably my 100th video, so hey, cool. I wasted a lot of time online. Wow, that's kind of disappointing. So keep the questions coming, and thanks for checking in. Everyone doing NaNoWriMo, keep it up. I reached the halfway point, and I have nothing left to write about in this particular book. I'm not going to make it. I'm 25,000 words away from finishing. No, I'm going to make it, I think.